Ladies and gentlemen, it's spring. In case you couldn't tell by the lack of cold white shit. And this morning here, we gotta take this bitch for a spin. Because, you know, we got work to do now, apparently. So, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna hop in here. We're gonna get our asses out to the field because I've already procrastinated way too much this morning. Now some of you may be thinking, all this tillage shit is great. I almost fell in a hole. But why? Well, there's a reason for that. And one of the big reasons is seedbed. Well, you're probably thinking, what in the hell do I mean, seedbed? This, on the other hand, this is pretty nice. It's smooth, it's a little softer, it's pleasant to be in and doesn't make me want to die. You can go to a chiropractor. And much like me, the seed does not want to go to the chiropractor. It wants a nice, smooth, consistent seedbed. And the reason for that is consistency, which I said. But basically, the ideal yield situation is for every seed in the field to come at the exact same time, like within hours of each other. Now that's not necessarily going to happen, but we want to get as close as possible. And when you have ground like this, it's all lumpy and shit, that's going to be a lot harder to do. Because one seed might be up here, one might be in there, one's on top of this thing that won't even grow. So we beat it all down like this, chop up the residue, so it's consistent. Now you're thinking, why would emergence time affect yield? Well, see, if one plant starts growing before the other plant, it gets a head start and starts pulling nutrients from around it. While the other one is still much younger and more vulnerable, it gets out-competed and ends up producing absolutely nothing. So that's what we use the soil finisher for. We take all of our... So here, I'll show you the actual steps that go through the machine. So for anyone interested, this is a Kuhn Krause Landsman 6205. New machine this year, it's done great so far. I'll talk about that later. But here, we got the blades, right? And these are chopping and dicing all of our corn stalks here. Like, look, here's a great, I don't know what the hell's going on there. Anyway, but see how it's splitting all these here? It's chopping them up, making them in a reasonable size so that we can have everything nice and smooth like this. Then we have the actual tillage work, which is done by these shanks here. And there's a little point under the ground. They'll move to the ground, they'll stir it up. You can kind of see frozen in time here how it's going. So that'll do most of the work. That'll get the dirt moving, incorporate all these stalks they're chopping up and all that. Then, as you can see, it's got a bit of ridging there. And kind of like a, you know, there. See? So we have this harrow on the back to help level it off. Don't mind that, I hit a fence. So that's just gonna come along, smooth everything out and leave it level. Then we have the rolling basket here, which is a big hunking piece of metal. And that's just gonna bust the shit out of all the clods. Like, see this root ball here. This root ball here. Like, that got blown in half because this helps beat everything down. And the result is a nice smooth seed bed, which results in the best possible conditions for our seeds, which is all we want. So yeah, that's kind of important. That is why we do our spring tillage. I suppose I should also give a quick tour on, you know, the tractor. So, you know, we got the duals all around. That's gonna give us more footprint and therefore more grip. It's also distributing our weight so we don't compact the ground as such, which is good. Got some weights on the front to help with traction. Now that's the door, fuel tank, DEF, government juice. There we got a toolbox, but you know, things are gonna break. I mean, if you're dragging a piece of metal up through the ground at like 7 miles an hour, something's gonna break eventually. This is the men's bathroom. That's the women's bathroom. Got all the hydraulics here to control all that shit back there. 3-point hitch, different like flow meters and stuff. And the soil finisher back here, which I just talked about.
Alright, now it's time to pop over to Grandpa and the planter quick. But before we can get planting, we have to load up. First, we gotta load up the seed. Now, you may see that the seed is green. And the green is what we call a seed treatment, which is a set of coatings that helps the plant grow better and survive better. This includes some beneficial bacteria and fungi on there, as well as some fungicide and insecticide to protect things and stop them from getting eaten. You also may notice there's a few pink seeds in there. That's because 5% of our corn seed has to be what we call refuge for corn rootworm. Corn rootworm is this pest, it's a real menace. And the green seeds have a genetically modified trait to produce toxins that will kill the rootworm, and the 5% pink seeds don't have that. And what this does is this lets some rootworm survive so we don't end up creating resistance within the rootworm, so that we can keep using these products for years to come and don't eventually make the rootworm essentially unkillable. So now that we have that done, we gotta load up with our starter fertilizer, just kicks things in gear a bit, and our water for our insecticide. And put that all in the seed tender, and then we're ready to go.
Well guys, we got a little burrow. You guys want to go down there and see if anyone's home? There you go. Was there anyone down there? Because I got no damn clue. We're gonna run them over though, so hopefully there wasn't. Now, you may be wondering, oh, that's how the outside works. That's off the window. But how the hell does the inside work? And that's what I'm here to show you. That's why I'm in the cab talking to you. So let's just go through the controls real quick and we'll kind of look into it. You know, maybe you'll learn something. Or maybe you're a farmer who already drives this shit and I'm wondering why I'm bothering to tell you. In which case, I don't know, I'll skip ahead. You'll be fine. You're a big boy. So these here, these are our hydraulics. All of these like switches, we just have little covers for them. So, you know, you can turn off ones that you like don't use so you don't accidentally flip the wrong shit and make a mess. Here we have our throttle. That's, I'm sorry, I don't know why I felt the need to demonstrate a throttle. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory, the throttle is. Here we got our transmission or shifter or whatever. You know, bump shift up for to shift up forward, shift down to shift down a gear, reverse, park, neutral, all that. We got this little scroll wheel that we use to set our speed. As you can see here, I just flipped it real quick to demonstrate. Basically, when we have it on auto, what's going to happen is when I move that, it's going to set the speed the tractor is going to try to go. So tractor will automatically shift around to try to best maintain set speed. Yeah, like for example, wipers. For example, if you go up a hill, it'll shift down typically. Like we're in F13 now, and when we crest this hill, we'll probably pop into F14, which is 14th and 13th gear, yeah. Basically, you know, it's like riding a bike. Shift down going up, shift up going down, to like have the overall most efficient ride is what it tries to do. Down here we got the auto steer button. We got like our flashers and like our music controls, climate, all that. This stuff, I mean, it's here, but I don't really use it, so I don't feel like it's relevant to talk about. Here we have our first monitor. I have it on the sprayer, just because that has the acre counter, and I'm too lazy to put the acre counter on the soil finisher, so I just flip it. Go forward. We have all these different pages that we can actually set based on an implement, so which you might find interesting. So here's the soil finish it, because my grandpa typed to that, and he's kind of a Neanderthal sometimes. Happens to the best of us. Anyway, here is, that's like the direction we're facing, so perfect 90 degrees east. And it's based on where our line is set, the second bit here, which is inches. It says 0 inches, which means we are perfectly on our AB line. Oh, what the hell's an AB line? It's at point A, point B, line between them, and every 30 feet, which is the width of the implement back there, it's gonna have the line going across the field. So that will keep us steering. That's why I can wave my hands around and make gestures to explain things. So we got that. We got our SCV here. Auto track is engaged, all that, location, how long to the end. Here we have just like the general tractor run page, more SCV shit. That's our slippage percent. Why is that 12? That seems kind of high. Oh well. We have like the outdoor temperature, our acres per hour, how much fuel we're burning. Diesel go burr, engine power, all that type of stuff. On the center console here, we have the steering wheel, obviously. We got like the little blinker and the horn. You can't really hear that, can you? We got the wipers, lights, you know, all that stuff we keep on the console there. The radio up here, which I have muted so I don't get copyrighted into oblivion by YouTube. But yeah, I got my official, you know, DJI approved drone charging station in the cup holder here. I have the water bottle and the cup holder doesn't really fit in because the drone's gonna fall out of that one. And I feel unsafe, and I value my drone more than my water. We got, you know, a bag of shit, charger, you know, there's standard stuff that you need when you're spending like 13 hours a day in this thing. So this is all the data that I'm using to help run the machine effectively, control, you know, hopefully do a decent job. Alright, so we're done for today. Started raining, but we finished the field, so that's okay. However, it made a goddamn mess, but oh well. Let's fold her up. I'll turn off that for you. There you go, now it's not in the way. Let it fold up, and yeah, that's supposed to be orange, not black, but you know, rain. Looks like most of it's falling off though, so that's nice. Like I said, rain just enough to make a mess. It's my least favorite kind of rain. And I feel kind of bad because tires aren't pretty. I'm right in front of this guy's house, but you know, I gotta get home somehow, so sorry, bro. Kick in the lights, and yeah, let's get out of here. So while I'm waiting for this thing to fuel up, I thought I'd talk about the soil finisher back here. Now, all like 100 people who watched the spring video last year will know that we used to have a green one of these.
And this year we're on to the orange, or red, or whatever the hell, I don't know, it's somewhere in between. But this is, in case you didn't know, I mentioned it earlier, I'm pretty sure, but it is a Kuhn Kraus Landsman 6205. I hope I got that right. It's a 31-foot model. The old soil finisher was a John Deere 2310 27-footer, if I recall. So, you know, this is bigger. But I thought I'd talk about likes versus dislikes. You know, what I like about this, what I like about the other one, which do I prefer? So I guess one thing, the main difference, honestly, is probably the blades here. The other ones they didn't have the serrated shit going on, and they were all concave. So this is definitely different. They honestly both perform very well. What I would say, in normal, ideal conditions, I think they do pretty much an identical job. They're very equal. Both do great. Now, where this one shines is when you have a lot of residue on top. Like, for example, we had some down corn last year. Areas, a lot of residue on top of the ground, and this did a beautiful job chopping them up, where I don't think the other one really would have performed near as well. Anyway, that's probably the main difference, honestly, in terms of like physical characteristics. Another key detail though is that I think this one, the frame, like look at that hitch and stuff, sorry it's so goddamn dirty, but the hitch and stuff is much heavier. So I'd say it's overall a heavier built machine, if that makes sense. So I think that'll give it some durability long term, hopefully. Just solid. The other thing is these springs here, which I give the blades shock. That did not happen on the other one. And so when you run over a rock or something, like by accident, it happens, you know, it's gonna happen inevitably. These will have give. The other machine had none. You just hit them. And there was actually one occasion which we had the shaft holding these gangs together snap on the old one. So I'm hoping that this like bouncy shit will help iron out the jolts and put less stress on the machine overall long term. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Another thing I do like about this is that it turns way easier. Oh, I got a present. Interesting. Anyway, it does turn way easier. I feel like I can get right up to the fence a lot better and really utilize all the space, have less end rows to do at the end. I think it's more efficient that way. It's nice. One thing I do not like, I find, personally, I think it sits lower than the old one when you have it raised up. And the SCV is also a little slower. We could probably do some tweaking with that. I'll have to mess with it more. But when you're going through a waterway, you want to put this thing up, you want it to go up. And it can be a little sluggish. Now I've kind of adjusted, I've made it work, but the deer was definitely much snappier in that regard. And also, since I'm pretty sure it sits higher, we didn't get situations near as not sure you'd have dragged this harrow and rolling basket along the back end of the waterway. But you know, it's pretty minor annoyance. Overall, I do think this is an upgrade over the old Deere one, which shouldn't be a surprise given that the Deere one is 13 years old. And also, I mean, Kuhn's made a great product here. So, you know, if you're looking into one of these, I've been really pleased with it so far. So, yeah, do with that what you will. I guess if you make your like multi-thousand-dollar, like tens of thousands of dollars of farm equipment purchasing decisions based off of a YouTuber with 150 subs, you might have greater problems than the result of the tillage job you get. But hey, that's just me.
And with that, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a little different than what most of you came here for, because as of editing, this is after that Bedrock video just went frickin' wild. So, you know, I hope this is a different type of content, obviously, and I hope you guys still enjoy it and, you know, maybe learned a thing or two. And if you don't care, I hope you can ignore it and move on with life, I guess. But yeah, I had a great time just messing with the GoPro, and I have a drone. Well, first of all, it's a new GoPro, so I can record in full 4K. Woo. And I could also have the drone now, so I can do real life replay mod. If there's farm people who aren't from the Minecraft videos watching this, they're going to be very confused, but yeah, that's a you problem. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, consider hitting all the bullshit buttons down below, and yeah, have a good one.